birthday, so I adjusted up a little bit for today. I don't have lipstick on my teeth. It doesn't look like I do, so we're good. So I mentioned that I had a job interview at Ulta in my how I became a dog groomer, I think is what I called it. And I figured while I was in a full face of makeup that this would be the time to talk about that interview. So it wasn't like bad. I want to preface it by saying that it's just kind of funny, and that's kind of why I want to talk. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because I just thought it was funny. So anyway, this was back before I decided like fully that I wanted to be a dog groomer, and I basically had put in a couple applications. I think I applied at Ulta, I want to say maybe Sephora, and then maybe PetSmart or something. I remember it was like kind of all over the place because I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So anyway, I put in my application at Ulta and I got a call back, and the lady was really nice, and she scheduled an interview. I think it was on like a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. And she like made it for before they opened, and she like told me like, yeah, it's like, you know, we're not going to be open yet whenever you get there. I was like, okay, cool. And then randomly that dog groomer friend that I had that I ended up working with, obviously you guys already kind of know the end of the story because I didn't work at Ulta. So anyway, she had also messaged me, and she was like, hey, told me about the job opportunity she had, and I was like, okay, so I have this interview at Ulta, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do the interview, and depending on how it goes with that, like, you know, I'll let you know. I just wanted to kind of be real with her, and she was like, okay, cool, like, you know, I understand, whatever. So I go to this interview, and the morning of, like, nothing was going right, and I was getting so frustrated. Like, I remember I was like, I wanted my makeup to look really good that day, obviously, since I was applying to work in a makeup store. So I was like, you know, I want to look good. Anyway, so my foundation was like really splotchy, and it wasn't working well with my concealer that day. Like, I didn't change anything up in my routine, but it just like was not coming out for some reason, and it was messing up so bad that I almost ended up late to the interview. And I like had this feeling of like, maybe I just shouldn't even go, but I was like, don't do that. Like, that's, you know, that's ridiculous. Like, you're having a rough start, but this whole day doesn't have to be bad, kind of thing, you know. And so I kind of get it together. Wasn't really thrilled with how my makeup turned out, but I was like, it'll do, you know. And I go to the interview, and I get there. There's like only a couple cars there or whatever, and I waited a little bit because I always get there a little bit early, and I was like, okay, I waited till about 5 minutes before the interview was scheduled, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go up and knock on the door. So I go up and I knock on the door, and this girl comes to the door, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, and she like, I go to like kind of like walk in because I just assume they know, you know, who I am and that I would be here since we had this scheduled, right? And she like looks at me like I'm freaking crazy, and she's like, can I help you? And I was like, I'm Janine, I'm here for the job interview. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And like basically had completely forgotten that we had a job interview that day. And I was like, great. So we go in the back, and she's like trying to get stuff together real quick, and she's like, I'm so sorry, and blah blah blah. And like meanwhile, like other employees were kind of coming in and like saying hi or whatever. Everybody seemed really nice. So I was like, okay, cool, this is cool. So we do the interview. I thought it went pretty well. You know, we're just chilling, talking. I usually don't struggle with interviews. Like, even if I'm nervous, I kind of like snap into this persona, and then when I get home, that's when I start to freak out. So I usually am okay in the moment. So, you know, I thought we were hitting it off. Like, I was kind of joking around with the other employees. Like, you know, everything's great. So I'm like, awesome. Like, you know, maybe this is the right fit for me. I don't know. And on the way out, one of the employees like says to the girl that interviewed me, she like said something to her, and the interviewer was like, oh no, this isn't her, or something like that. And she starts laughing, and she's like, yeah, there's this girl that they really want me to hire that's coming for like a job interview or whatever, but they thought that you were her. I'm over here like, okay, so you've already essentially decided like who you're gonna hire, and they like her so much that they didn't even know what she looked like, and they thought that she was me, or that I was her, or whatever. And I was like, wow. So she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you either way, like whether you get the job or you don't. And needless to say, I never heard back from her. I'm sure they hired whatever girl it was that they so desperately wanted to work there. But I thought that was kind of funny that she forgot it. But like, she was so, I guess she already had it in her head she was hiring this other girl, so she completely forgot about my interview. And then I get there and I'm like, oh, that went pretty well. And on the way out, she like tells me essentially like, oh, we already like know who we're gonna hire, but we, you know, since you're here, like, you know, I mean, it's cool. It showed me that I was meant to become a dog groomer. I ended up in dog grooming because that didn't work out. Life would probably be very different right now if I had taken that job. Like, who knows what I'd be doing right now. So it worked out for the best. Like, I'm not mad. I didn't have any true hard feelings against Ulta. Like, I still shop there. And, you know, it's not awkward going in there because I highly doubt they remember me, because they couldn't even remember the girl they wanted to hire. That just, like, forever will kill me, that they, like, thought that I was this girl that they just, like, had to have work there because this was, like, the girl, right? And I guess she had, like, previously worked at, I don't know if she worked at that Ulta or a different one. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. But I just thought that was hilarious. And it worked out then, because I am where I am today because I didn't get that job. So I'm happy, and I hope that girl that got the job was happy, because I'm sure it's nice getting discounts on products. That was the real reason I wanted to work there, okay? We're just being honest here. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was a funny story, so I figured I would tell you guys about it while I have makeup on, because it's a rare occasion. Today, again, is my best friend's birthday, so I was like, I'm gonna wear some makeup. I got the Jaclyn Hill palette, so I'm pretty fancy right now, you know what I mean? But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's a great story. I still laugh when I think about it, you know. It just, like, forever amuses me that they didn't even, like, did they not know what this girl looked like? Is it just me? How did they think I was this girl? What does this girl look like? Are we twins? I mean, who knows? I don't even know what her name was. So, anyway. Happy, what is today? Thursday? Yes, Thursday. Happy Thursday. So, yeah. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.